We'll bring our palms together to our breastbone, and let's just notice our position. Feel that the sit bones are rooted, and just remember, the higher you sit, the more you'll be able to lift out of the low back, and the more your hips will be able to relax as well. So if those are two things that you're struggling with, you can come up a bit higher. And then ribs are hovering over pelvis. Roof of the mouth is over the diaphragm. And let's just nod the chin towards the throat and feel the breastbone softening as we bow forward. Low back is staying neutral. And then we'll inhale and come back to neutral. And we'll exhale, bow forward, breathing into the back space of the body. And inhale up. Exhale, bowing forward, imagining that the heart is growing backwards into the back part of the body. And we'll inhale and up. Let's bring the arms down. And we're just going to crawl the fingertips forward until you find a place that feels comfortable for you. And we're just going to shift through the shoulders. So I'm just shifting my weight to the left side of my arm and hand, and then to the right side. Let the head be heavy. And then let's walk the hands in, and we'll sit up nice and tall. And just to be even, let's switch our feet. So bring the other foot forward, and let's crawl forward again. So we're getting, you might feel, depending on your body, a hip stretch here. You might feel a stretch through the back or the shoulders. And then just wiggling here, breathing. Let the head be heavy. And then let's walk back in, sitting nice and tall. And we'll bring the right hand behind the body. If you're sitting on a block or a pillow, it can be resting on that. If you're on the floor, on the floor. And we're just going to apply a little bit of pressure there to help us find a lift. Notice that ribs are hovering over pelvis. And we'll bring the left arm to the right knee. And we'll add a bit of a rotation here. You can look over that back shoulder if it feels available to you. And we'll inhale, grow a little bit taller. And exhale, is there a little bit more room to rotate? You can even look out of the right side of the eyes there. Inhale into the backs of the ribs. And exhale, is there a little bit more room to rotate? Let's do one more breath here. And exhale, rotate. And we'll come through center. And then let's switch sides. So we'll bring left hand behind us, helping us sit nice and tall. Right hand to left knee, and we'll find our rotation. Ribs are hovering above pelvis. We'll inhale, grow nice and tall. And we'll exhale, stretch a bit further, rotate a bit further. You can look over that shoulder and out the left side of the eyes if that's helpful. Inhale into the backs of the ribs. And exhale. Is there more room to rotate? Let's do one more breath here. And we'll come back to center. Beautiful. Let's take our TheraBand now, and we're going to bring our legs out in front of us. And you can have legs straight or bent. We want to sit nice and tall, so whatever allows that sitting nice and tall. And I've got my legs together, knees and feet together, and my elbows are straight, and my hands are holding onto the ends of the TheraBand. Feel for the collarbones to be nice and wide here. Let's bring the collarbones backwards in space and bend the elbows, pulling back. And then we'll come forward, let that release. Collarbones move backwards in space, then elbows bend and release. Good. Sit bones are nice and rooted, collarbones back, elbows bend. Notice that ribs are still over pelvis, collarbones back, elbows bend and release. Let's do two more here and release. Collarbones back and release. And now we're going to go into a single arm row. So let's leave the right arm straight. Left collarbone will move backwards in space, and then that arm bends. That wasn't a full sentence. And release. And then right collarbone moves back and elbow bends and release. Let's add a rotation here. Collarbone back, and as the elbow bends, we'll rotate towards that side and back through center. Collarbone back, bend, rotate towards that bent side and center. Let's keep switching sides here, noticing what's happening with the alignment of the torso. So still trying to stack the ribs over the pelvis. Let's add our breath. Let's inhale as we rotate and pull. And exhale as we come through center. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center. Let's do one more on each side. Inhale, rotate. And exhale, center. I'm going to bend my knees slightly for this next move. We're going to go into our coccyx curl. Arms are still holding the ends of the TheraBand and elbows are straight here. And last week we did our seated coccyx curl. So from nice and tall, tucking the, I'm going to turn to the side actually so you can see me a little bit better. Okay, so sitting nice and tall and then tucking the tailbone, just rolling back off of the sit bones and then coming up nice and tall. And this time we're going to add our arms. So we'll tuck the tailbone, elbows stay straight. We're just going to pull back and release the arms and up. Collarbones staying nice and wide. Tucking the pelvis, collarbones are wide, pressing back. And release, nice and tall. Let's do 3 more. So we're just changing the shape of the spine. And we're holding that shape while we add a little bit of resistance through the upper body. And release. Beautiful. We're going to come off of the block, but leave the TheraBand around your feet. And we're going to go into our roll downs. So if you would like to stack anything for your head or for your low back, if you want to find a small towel to place but where the low back will be for support. Knees can be bent or straight. Legs are together, zipping up through the inner thighs. We'll inhale nice and tall, feel the collarbones nice and wide. And as we exhale, let's start by splashing water on belly button, rolling off of the sit bones, rocking back off of them, and then we'll slowly start to roll down. Let's see if we can keep collarbones wide and tops of shoulders as soft as possible as we roll down. Beautiful. We're going to stay here. And holding on to the band still, we'll just start with our neck. So we'll let the backs of the head feel heavy on the mat. Jaw and tongue are nice and soft. We'll just nod the chin towards the throat and lift the chin up towards the ceiling. So just making our yes nod. If this is uncomfortable for your low back, you're just going to bend your knees until you're comfortable, making the position work for you. Good. And then we're going to go into our head float, and we're going to still use our TheraBand for support. And we're going to come up to the bottom rib. And again, you can have legs straight for this, or if that's uncomfortable, you can bend the knees, whatever's working for you. We'll inhale here. And as we exhale, nod the chin towards the throat, and we're going to peel up to the bottom rib. And then we'll lower back down. Collarbones nice and wide. The TheraBand's going to assist a little bit. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, nod the chin towards the throat. Feel the breastbone softening. Back ribs come back and up as we lift to the bottom rib and back down. I think I'm coming up a little bit higher than the bottom rib. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, nod the chin towards the throat, peeling up. So if that bottom rib cue isn't working for you, I think it's because the towel's there. It's a bit trickier to feel, but you can play with it. Coming back down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. And exhale, nodding forward. Feel how the ribs soften towards the back as we lift. And lower. Let's do one more head float here. Inhale to prepare. And we'll exhale, nod the chin towards the throat. Head float and lowering back down. We're going to go from here into our full roll up. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, nod the chin towards the throat, and we'll peel all the way up, seeing if we can keep our collarbones nice and wide. And when we get to the top, we'll sit nice and tall, and then we'll just lean over for a little bit of a hamstring stretch, breathing into the back body, and then we'll stack up one vertebrae at a time. Now, we've played a little bit with bending and straightening the knees as we move through our roll through. Feel free to do that if you'd like. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, rocking off of the sit bones and starting to roll backwards in space, laying the body down, collarbones nice and wide. We'll inhale at the bottom. And exhale, nod the chin towards the throat, soften the breastbone, peeling up. And when we get to the top, we're going to lean over the legs. We don't have to hold there, just take a breath. And then start to stack back up. Notice how that's feeling tonight. We're going to continue with this. Rolling down. Inhale, feeling long from head to heel. Exhale, nod the chin towards the throat, peeling up. Remind the shoulders that they can relax. Coming over and stacking back up. Exhale as we start to roll down. Inner thighs zipped in together. Inhale, feeling nice and long. Exhale, nod the chin towards the throat, feeling the spine peel up one vertebrae at a time. Pressing the low back into that towel to help you come up. We'll come forward, breathing into the back body. Let the head be heavy. And then rolling back up. Notice what that felt like. Let's try that again. The next time we come up, tuck the tailbone. We're going to roll back. Inhale, growing nice and long. Exhale, chin towards the throat, rolling up. When we get up, as we come over the legs for a hamstring stretch, let the head be heavy and just notice how that changes what you feel. Stacking up. Let's do one more. Rolling down, using the breath. Inhale, nice and tall. And exhale, nodding the chin towards the throat, rolling up, collarbones nice and wide. We'll come over the legs. If you like that sensation that hanging your head gave, you can try that. And we'll stack up nice and tall. We're going to stay here for a minute. Let's put our band to the side. We're going to use it again to get back down. And let's separate our feet about mat distance. And if you want, actually, you can grab your little prop for sitting if you'd like. So legs are about the width of the mat. Nice and tall. Ribs are hovering over pelvis, and let's trace our collarbones and then bring the arms out wide, staying in the front space of the body. And we'll try our twist here. So sit bones are going to stay equally weighted. We'll inhale, twist towards the right leg, and we'll exhale, twist towards center. Inhale, rotate to the left side, and exhale to the center. Let's continue this alternating, remembering that the arms are keeping the same relationship with the torso. So spine is directing the movement, arms just going along for the ride. Through center, let's build on here. So we're going to add our hip hinge. And just as a reminder, the hip hinge here, if you feel for that spot where leg and pelvis meet, we're going to hinge forward, finding that movement in the hip socket as opposed to rounding forward. So spine's going to stay nice and tall. If you want to leave your hands in that crease to help you find that, you're welcome to. Otherwise, you can trace collarbones and find that nice T position. We'll inhale nice and tall. We'll exhale, rotate towards the right, and then hip hinge forward. Eye gaze can come down towards that knee, and it's like you're sawing off that baby toe. Doesn't matter how far forward you hinge. You're going to come back up and then come through center. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, hip hinge. Eye gaze can come down towards that leg. Inhale, up, and untwist. This next time we're going to go down and play with our twists a bit. So we'll inhale, rotate. Exhale down, pausing here. We're in a hip hinge. We're going to inhale, rotate a bit more, and exhale back to that initial spot. Inhale a little deeper. Exhale to center. Inhale a little bit deeper. Exhale to center. Coming up and untwist. So the secret here too is as we're twisting, we want to feel those sit bones nice and heavy. We'll inhale, rotate, and we'll exhale, hip hinge forward. Inhale, twist a little deeper. Exhale, back to start. Inhale, twist a bit deeper. Exhale, back to start. Inhale, twist a bit deeper. Exhale, back to start. We'll unhinge. We'll untwist. Let's lower the arms, shake that out. You can shake the legs too. That's our saw.